Hello, everyone. I'm Rick Danforth, president of Tops Club. Sorry I can't be with you today, but I want to take a moment and congratulate all the winners attending this event. Royalty, division winners, Tops graduating, congratulations to all of you. This year's been a challenging year, and I'm sorry it's taking so long for you to get the recognition you truly deserve. You are all certainly a great inspiration to Tops. As I said, it's been a challenging year, and we've learned a lot. And I think we need to take the lessons learned and go forward, using your examples, your success stories to carry us forward to another year of Tops. So again, congratulations to you all, and remember, it's a wonderful Tops life.
I was tired of being overweight, unhealthy, and depressed, but just plain tired. I had a milestone birthday coming up in 2020, and I knew I had to get real about losing weight. No more excuses. But no matter what I tried, I could never manage to stick with it. Shortly after starting, I would lose the motivation, allow old habits to kick in, or I'd just give up. I was the queen of excuses. It's going to be too hard. One chocolate isn't going to hurt. It's too expensive to focus on me. I'm not worth the effort. Well, this negative self-talk was so strongly ingrained that I didn't even notice it anymore. I knew that if I wanted to be around to see my children to get married, play with my grandchildren, and enjoy my retirement, I needed to get real about my weight loss. After the first thing I needed to do was change my mindset. I needed to find my why. And I did. With the 2030 Fast Track program and the support of my TOPS group, things finally started to click for me. I started to focus on rebalancing my hormones and limiting my food intake, and added back into my diet to determine which foods I was sensitive to. Every week I'd attend my TOPS meeting where my friends and my family were the anchor that I needed in order to keep moving forward. Between the weekly encouragement and the information shared at the meetings, it helped me to remember why I was doing this and what I wanted, not needed, to accomplish. And as the weight came off, so many things changed in my life. The joints never hurt anymore. I had forgotten what it felt like. My blood work was picture perfect, and I was sleeping all night. No more night sweats. My migraines virtually disappeared, and my self-confidence grew. I no longer crave food. Instead of being addicted, it became a way to fuel my body. I never dreamed that when I finally got serious about my journey, that I would reach my goal. Without the love and support of my family, friends, and my TOPS group, I would probably still be hunting for the motivation to take that first step. They helped me find my why and encouraged me to hang on to every step of the way. Have you found your why? Laura Burns.
Following the passing of my wife Frances in February 1998 and my inability to deal with that, I lost my job, my apartment, all of my possessions, and I distanced myself from many of the people in my life that were important to me. I took on a series of temporary jobs, and then I started hanging out at Sanctuary Ministries, starting with being a regular at their Saturday breakfasts, and then later going to Wednesday lunch and Thursday supper. I was struggling. Depression stalked me, and the pounds just kept piling on. My mother and I checked out TOPS in October 1999 to see if it was an organization that could help us. We struck gold. I do not mean everything became easy for me, as I still had a serious food addiction, but I started on a journey which has made me healthy, wealthy, in many ways, and wise. I was hired full-time as the kitchen manager at Sanctuary Ministries in 2003, where I still find myself busy purchasing, preparing, or cooking meals. I am part of a team that seeks to establish and develop a holistic, inclusive, and healthy community. In 2005, Kathy Jones joined our TOPS group, and by the fall, that beautiful woman asked me out on a date. Kathy said it was my smile and sparkly eyes that captured her attention. Thanks be to God, and by Christmas 2006, I was engaged to that beautiful woman, and on September 29th, Kathy became my wife. My struggle continued, and with the encouragement of my family and support of my wife Kathy and Mum, I had a lap band procedure on March 2nd, 2009. My weight dropped to 260 pounds, and after many years had passed, our family doctor attributed my weight losses from that point on to exercise and smart eating, and not the procedure. Of course, the story does not end there, as it's been a roller coaster ride, and by June of 2018, I weighed in at 342.5 pounds. I was focused again and became a COPS member December 2019. With guidance from my family doctor, I continue to tweak my plan and adjust my goal weight. When I lose 5 more pounds, I will weigh exactly 1/2 of my highest weight of 456 pounds. With the support of my chapter, ON59, Toronto, TOPS friends, my wife, and my mum, I am healthier and wiser. Thank you all for the support as we struck gold when we found TOPS. Donald Sturrock, King runner-up, loss to goal 76.1 pounds. From TOPS ON59 Toronto.
Wednesday night. That has been my night for over 30 years now at ON 489 Welland. There is very little that keeps me from my TOPS meeting and my circle of encouraging, supporting friends. Through the years, I have had many successes, slip-ups, coasting along, but always I was reaching for my brass ring. TOPS and I have a common thread in what we were born the same year. Little did I know, as a small skinny child, that such a great organization was waiting to help me later in my life. My story isn't unique. My wonderful husband of 50-some years has been with me through thick, thin, and thin, literally. I was adjusting to our different culture customs, a home away from my friends and family, and a new baby for the first year of marriage. But our 12th anniversary, our family had expanded into 5 children. I would lose during pregnancy, then gain again. As my youngest started school, I decided it was time to do something about all that excess baggage, and I don't mean kids and hubby. Lo and behold, there was an ad for TOPS in a local paper. I would like to say, and the rest is history, but it doesn't stop there. At first I lost, but then the yo-yo syndrome set in. No matter how busy I was with the family or running our chicken farms, my daily diet followed the exchange program and my family benefited from my healthy meals. It's those darn cookies, snacks, and assorted other high-calorie foods that plagued me, and the years rolled on. Finally, I asked my doctor for a goal slip and really started my journey into a wonderful world of COPS. You know how they say 1 pound a month and you'll be at least 10 pounds lighter by the end of the year? Well, that's how I tackled the last 3 years, still following the exchange program, writing a food diary, and curtailing those sneaky, pesky, empty calories. I have held numerous positions at chapter level and worked for the TOPS and when needed. Always there was the support, well wishes, and pep talks that only loving TOPS members can give. That is what I missed the most during the long, seemingly endless stint of these no meetings due to COVID-19. How we all long for our weekly meetings, chit-chats, and our appointment with Miss Slenderette, as we effectively call our scales. She knows our struggles, our frustrations, but is also a friend we celebrate with. Another dear friend of mine was your very own Ontario Tops Queen, Juliana Dion. Before she passed away, she had left in our chapter charm boxes with a little envelope with a note that read, "For Sharon when she reaches 100-pound loss." I proudly wear my Topsy charm as a necklace to remind me that it's never too late, and it's not too late for you either. Ontario Provincial Queen, Sharon Cowdice.
I was born on the east coast of Canada at the end of World War II. My father was a railroad engineer who provided everything we needed for a normal life. When I was 20 years old, I moved to Ontario to find employment and had no issue with weight. I quit smoking in my 20s, then was married, started a family, and then began to put on the pounds. It took a while to get heavy at first. I did not notice it as I was busy with work and family. I took a job as a salesman and joined Weight Watchers. I cannot remember how heavy I was back then. However, I went down to 170 pounds. Without a follow-up program, I soon gained the weight back and eventually topped out at 330 pounds. I have fought the battle of the bulge for many years, sometimes gaining, sometimes losing. My wife was also having trouble keeping her weight down, and she decided to go to Tops. She was enjoying the meetings and making progress. I was in my 70s, weighing 285 pounds, with arthritis, and had trouble walking. When I joined, I met Margie, and she made me feel very welcome as the new members coach. She also taught me that juicy fruit gum was a great temporary fix for a Big Mac attack. Thank you, Margie. We have a great group of people in our chapter, 2940 Belleville, and I always enjoy our meetings. Great tips on food and diet, lots of helpful presentations, and a real help to stay focused on maintaining a healthy weight program. I would not be celebrating this victory if it wasn't for my Tops friends. Tops is a great program, and I'm proud to be part of it. Thank you, Eric McDonald, your 2019 Ontario King with a loss of 100.6 pounds to goal from ON 2940 Belleville.
Hi, my name's Carol Harper, and I'm the Service Program Administrator for Eastern Canada. And today I have with me royalty from 2019 Ontario King runner-up John Spirino. He's from 5403 Kirkfield, and he had a loss of 63 3/4 pounds to goal. Beside him now, and I do mean beside him now, is Queen runner-up Marlene Ward from 5318 St. Catharines at the time, and with a loss of 141 pounds to goal. Well, guys, how does it feel to be reigning royalty?
Well,
Wonderful.
wonderful. We'd like to say hello to all our fellow Tops and members and to our new King, Eric.
And our new Queen, Sharon.
We were your King and Queen runner-ups for 2018. We would have liked to have addressed you in person, but COVID-19 has made this a different period, demanding new methods for organizing events and communicating. In our year of royalty, we have experienced many changes and have enjoyed each opportunity to explain the principles of Tops at every gathering we attended. Our year of royalty offered us many exciting changes. And from being crowned at PRD in Oshawa to representing the province of Ontario at IRD in Portland, Oregon, as well as presenting Tops at a wellness fair in Lindsay, Ontario. We also had the honor of being guest speakers at 3 ARD rallies in Norwood, Bowmanville, and Niagara Falls. We surprised everyone at each rally by letting them know that we had fallen in love and we're
Wow.
going to spend the rest of our lives as a couple. Several chapters invited us to speak at their meetings, giving us the opportunity to encourage and inspire their members on that rocky road to gold.
But now our year has ended, and it is time to pass the torch to our new 2019 royalty. We offer our sincerest congratulations to each one of them, as we know and appreciate the hard work and perseverance required in attaining their goals. We are positive that each personal story they tell will certainly be an inspiration for others to follow.
We owe a debt of gratitude to the Tops Club Board of Directors, the hardworking field staff, our service program administrator, Carol Harper, our coordinator, Lou Bohmhoff, and our advocate, Norma Speck, who have assisted us and made our job so much easier. In closing, we wish to assure you that it has been an honor and a privilege to represent the Tops philosophy, and we dedicate ourselves to continue to promote the principles of Tops in every way we can. Well, Marlene, we have had a lot of changes in this year. And since we met each other at the PRD in Oshawa, and I'd like you to accept this ring. As you can see, the stones are in the shape of a crown.
Push it up a little bit, John, just so we can see it. Your camera's way up.
Way up.
Up, 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 up. Oh my goodness. Oh,
This is a token of my love to you, and it is also a symbol of our year of royalty, and as a pledge to the Tops organization that we will dedicate ourselves to continue to promote the principles of Tops. So will you accept that?
I will.
oh my goodness.
You have to tell Tops, thank them for letting me gain 180 pounds in 3 days.
We'll certainly do that.
We are so blessed.
Oh, guys, we're so blessed to have you and know you, and so happy for both of you in your life coming forward. Who knew what Tops could possibly put together?
Who knew? Who knew when I went to, when you begged me to go to Portland?
Yes, yes, I remember doing that.
The greatest
Guys,
joy of
continued
life.
good luck when
Thank
what you're doing in your new adventure and your new journey. I'm so glad you found each other, and I'm glad you found Tops. And
Yeah. We are both
We're
glad.
both glad we found
Tops.
Yeah.
It has gotten us through this COVID.
that too, for sure, for sure. All right,
So,
guys. Any last words you're thinking for anybody?
just, there's never an age limit to when you can reach the dreams that you've dreamed. So never quit.
Let's leave it on that note. John and Marlene, good luck. We'll talk to you again soon. We'll see you next year,
That is for sure.
for sure.
And we will dedicate ourselves to Tops.
Thank you.
Thank
Take care.
you. Good night.
Regrets? I've got a few, but I'm not going to dwell on them because number one, a lot of you already know my past. Number two, I'm doing my best to live in the present now. And number three, I'm limited in words. Sorry, Rosemary, but I am over. So, 2019. After gaining 7.4 pounds during the first 10 weeks of 2019, March 19th's weigh-in found me 3 pounds away from my heaviest weight ever recorded at Tops headquarters. So yep, over 8 years I had regained 187 pounds of the 190 that I had finally lost to reach my goal back on December 2nd, 2008. Did that make me finally decide to turn things around? Nope. And even though I did begin to lose weight that very next week, it wasn't because I was trying. I was obviously eating just enough less of what I had been eating for it to show on the scale. 5 weeks and 5 pounds lighter, it was time to head to Thunder Bay for NRR, where I knew that after I got over the embarrassment of everyone seeing me once again heavier than I had been the year before, I'd have a good time. I'd get inspired again to go home and start over once more, which happened every year, but it never lasted. But upon my return home this time, I did stay inspired. Why? I honestly can't tell you. I just know that I was, and the longer I went doing well, the more focused I became on continuing to do so. Once home from NRR last year, my weight chart never saw another red mark. That wasn't my goal, but I took it. My story this time around is no different than my first. I'm still enjoying all the foods I like, but in smaller portions. Not saying that I never overindulge, because of course I do, but I put it behind me and move on. And though I had said I'd never become a couch potato again when I reached my goal back in 2008, I did indeed become a couch potato again. So I had to start from scratch with exercising, slowly and increasing it as time went on. We had given our treadmill to our daughter over the years, as it had just been sitting in the basement unused, collecting dust. Long story short, we purchased another one last September. And I'm also back to walking outdoors, weather permitting. Every year since losing my COP status, I've always left our rally with a yellow rose, sometimes with more than one. I've got a vase of 5 in my dining room, a vase of 8 in my bedroom, and the 2 I received last year are in a vase beside my chair in our family room. That's a lot of inspiration surrounding me. I thank Neela, Sharon, Nellie, Helen, Bonnie Jean, Sandra, Frida, and Peggy for giving me their yellow roses over the years. It means a lot that you had faith in me and sent me home with your rose. I won't ever forget. Last but definitely not least, Edna. I remember the first rose Edna gave to me. We were at the Victoria Inn. It was a circle of light. And since I was no longer a part of that circle, I was in the back in charge of the lights. I turned the lights back on once it was over. Edna caught my eye, came over, and gave me her rose. And she has given me a rose every year since. She writes me notes, sends me articles, kept cheering me on even though I didn't deserve it. She's had more faith in me than I think I could ever have in myself. I told Jennifer in July that it was time for me to have as much faith in myself as Edna has had in me. Edna, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for not only the roses and notes over the years, but your friendship. I look forward to many more years of being your pen pal. Thank you to my chapter members for the weekly inspiration found at our meetings. I look forward to seeing you all Tuesday nights. And also a huge thank you to all my TOPS and COPS pals here in Northwestern Ontario. Your support, acceptance, and non-judgment has meant a lot to me over all these years. I know we'll get to where we want to be eventually. In closing, to quote something I've seen on Facebook, don't look back, you're not going that way. Anyone who has backslid, if you're like me anyway, knows that looking back at what was and comparing it to what is only works against you. The self-disgust, negativity towards yourself does not help. It's a vicious circle. The more you degrade yourself, the worse you do. Personally, I know I'll always look back. I can't help myself. But now I try to just take a peek and then focus on forward again. I'm taking it one day, 1 hour, 1 step, 1 pound at a time. My goal is to get through today and then repeat tomorrow. I know my vision is not 2020, but it sure is a whole lot clearer than it has been. Congratulations to everyone on their successes last year. I look forward to seeing you all in 2021. Thank you.
I have been struggling with my weight pretty much throughout all my adult life. In 2003, I joined the TOPS chapter in Cochrane. I lost 138.5 pounds to reach my goal in 2005 and became a COPS. It was such a great honor to be crowned Ontario Provincial Queen in 2006. I was happy and proud of myself. Then, in 2007, I lost my COPS status, and with life stresses and turmoils, I regained my weight back over the years, plus a little more. Over the next several years, my TOPS friends were there with me through it all, with their no judgment support, as my weight fluctuated up and down. In 2019, I got back on the losing bench and back on track. So here we are with my TOPS family rooting for me, not only on the good weeks, but best of all, supporting and encouraging me on the hard weeks. I am a provincial division winner. I want to thank the members of ON 593 Cochrane for being there with me through it all. Thank you, Julie Chenier. In January 2019, I was tired. Tired of being overweight, tired of being unhealthy, tired of being depressed, just plain tired. I had a milestone birthday coming up in 2020, and I knew that I needed to get real about losing weight. No more excuses. No matter what I tried, I could never manage to stick with it. Shortly after starting, I would lose motivation, allow all the old habits to kick in, and just give up. I was the queen of excuses. It was too hard. One chocolate isn't going to make a difference. It's too expensive to focus on me. I'm not worth the effort. My negative self-talk was so strongly ingrained that I didn't even notice it anymore. I knew that I wanted to be around to see my children get married, play with my grandchildren, and enjoy my retirement. I needed to get real about weight loss. And the first thing I needed to do was change my mindset. I needed to find my why. With the support of my TOPS group and the new Fast Track 2030, finally things started to click in for me. The first month I focused on rebalancing my hormones and limiting my food. I added back into my diet to determine which foods I was sensitive to. Every week I attended my TOPS meeting where my friends and family were the anchor that I needed in order to keep moving forward. And the weight came off. So many things changed. My joints didn't hurt. I had forgotten what that even felt like. My blood work was picture perfect, and I was sleeping all night long, and no more migraines or night sweats. I never dreamed that when I finally got serious about this weight loss journey, that I would reach my goal that very same calendar year. Without the love and support of my family, friends, and TOPS group, I would probably still be hunting for the motivation to take that first step. They helped me find my why and encouraged me to hang on to it every step of the way. Let me start off by telling you that I've always been a bigger woman, and child for that fact. I went through elementary school, high school, and college being fuller figured. My weight has always made me feel that I've never been good enough, and I have tried many times to lose weight with diet pills and fad diets. My mother was having the same problem, and she heard from a friend about TOPS. She went to the meeting and decided to join in 1998. I saw how she was doing and thought I could do it too. I went to a meeting to visit and then decided to join in 2003. My start weight was 338 pounds, but I was welcomed with open arms and I have been a member ever since, and I never looked back. I have gone up and I've gone down, but I just kept going and had many times wanted to quit, but I never did. I've had cancer and surgery and have gone through a lot, but in November 2019, I hit my 100-pound loss. I never thought I could ever do it. I was shocked. I am now down 110 pounds. I am 228 pounds, Every day I struggle, but I'm very thankful for my TOPS friends. My TOPS family has been there through my journey, and I cannot put into words what this means to me. My mother, my close friends, and amazing family have also been there for me. This has meant so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Roseanne Falvo.
Wow, I am shocked to actually win something. I've been on this journey for several years and have tried several fad diets without much success. I joined TOPS several years ago, and at that time, I wasn't very serious about weight loss. To me, it was more of a social gathering where we chose to weigh in. I still have small children at home, along with grandchildren, and I want to be able to take care of them, to see them all grow into adulthood. Being unhealthy would prevent me from this. I finally decided to become a healthier me when I realized that I was worth it. It was not easy, that's for sure. Being healthy is a lifetime commitment, and my current goal is to keep the weight off while continuing to eat well and exercise. My attitude towards TOPS changed. I actually realized its true purpose was to educate and support me while making great friends. Creating healthy habits was not easy, and having a healthy relationship with food took a lot of time. I did a lot of meal planning and wrote everything down, making sure I ate 3 meals a day and a snack. I learned I needed to eat to become healthy, whereas in the past I would often skip meals, causing havoc on my body. I now eat sensible, healthy meals, weighing and measuring everything. I ask myself if I'm actually hungry, or am I forcing myself to think I'm hungry? As the weeks went by, facing the scale made me accountable, and my weekly TOPS meetings kept me focused. I always left the meeting with the confidence to continue. My primary goal is to feel better and be healthier for myself and my family. To hold myself accountable, I set realistic, healthy goals of 10 pounds at a time. This helped it become more realistic and made the journey more attainable. I also stepped outside of my comfort zone and joined a gym. I attend faithfully 3 or more times a week. I am so thankful for the encouragement of my family and TOPS pals. I couldn't have done this without them. I still have a long way to go, but I know that I can always count on them for their continued encouragement and support. Each one of them holds a special place in my heart. Now I have more self-confidence and actually like myself. I feel much happier, and some days I am so full of energy. I'm not sure what to do with it. These are things that I never thought were possible. Thank you.
My name is Stephanie Roots, and I am 42 years young. All of my adult life, I've been overweight, usually around 200 pounds. In October 2016, I decided to quit smoking because I knew being overweight and smoking was a death sentence. I gained, but I knew it was better than smoking. Finally, in 2018, I hit my highest at 248 pounds. I knew I had to do something about it, and I was tired all the time, depressed, and never wanting to go out or try anything new. I was becoming someone I no longer recognized. Finally, after trying to lose weight on my own, I questioned my mom about her weight loss group, TOPS. My New Year's resolution was to finally lose weight. I knew I needed help to attend to my mom's TOPS meetings. As soon as I walked in, I knew I had to join. Everyone welcomed me with open arms. I weighed in on January 19th at 224 pounds and lost 10 pounds before that even. The leader at the time was Kathleen Clements, and she gave me a loving hug, and I knew that I was finally going to get support that I was looking for. Week after week, the weight came off. I was happy and motivated. Every month, I would achieve the most weight loss. I was excited and determined. I received my bracelet and charmed, and then I was hooked. I wanted to fill that bracelet. Sure, it wasn't easy, but I was focused. Every week, my mom and I would challenge each other. Sometimes she won. I always knew I needed support from my group. And if I do need it now, I just have to pick up the phone and call any one of them at any moment, and they would be there for me. I attended the fall rally and not knowing what to expect, and I was amazed. And it was great to see all the women and men there overachieving their goals and proudly showing off their ribbons and charms. I couldn't believe it when they called my name for the TOPS Best Achiever in Niagara. I had lost a total of 54.6 pounds, and I was so happy. I had tears of joy. By the end of the year, I lost 65.4 pounds with TOPS, a total of 75.4 for me. Now I kayak. I'm not afraid to try new things. I have my life back. I haven't set a weight goal yet, but I know I'm getting close. Next chapter will be to become a COPS and show and love and support the others to help them achieve their weight loss goals. I couldn't have done anything without the love and support of my TOPS group, my mom, and my family. My motto is choose your hard. It's hard to lose weight, but it's also hard being overweight. So choose your hard, and remember, choose wisely. Wow, this has been an amazing journey. I have struggled with weight all my life and was teased repeatedly, especially in public school. I tried every diet available throughout my life, and each one I lost weight, only to regain it, plus a little bit more. I did not learn how to be healthy, only to lose weight. Sound familiar? Last January, my husband and I decided that we would start eating healthy. Well, I did well the first week. I lost 4 pounds. Hooray! During my weekly visit to the Aquafit, I overheard two ladies talking about TOPS, so I joined in on the conversation. And I thought maybe it would help, but do I really want to pay to lose weight? I know what I need to do. Well, the two ladies left the class early, and as they were walking along the pool deck, called back and said, "See you tomorrow evening." After saying a few choice words under my breath, I thought, oh, great, now I have to go. Little did I know those words spoken to me that day at the pool would change my life. I joined TOPS January 15th, 2019. The members, most of whom I worked with years ago, made it feel like old home week. I decided that night that if I'm going to change my life, then this is the place to start. I wanted to stop my joints from aching. I wanted to be there for my family, especially my grandchildren. I quit smoking in 2000, conquered cancer in 2009, so I can achieve those. I can do this. My journey began to get even more control of my destiny. I finally documented everything, every day that I ate. I did some sort of activity every day, and each week at my weigh-in, I would write it down on my previous week's diary, my weight loss. These papers became my guideline to learn about me and how my body reacted to different foods. I referred to them often, along with my day one. It was the learning adventure which took time, effort, and dedication. I'm happy to say that I've lost a total of 50.6 pounds at TOPS in 2019 and 4 pounds prior to TOPS, which makes it 54.6 pounds lost. I never thought it was possible because of the support of my husband, family, and my weekly support from chapter and visiting chapters when I'm away. I have succeeded. I continue to maintain my comp status since July 31st, 2019. I am very active and I love my newfound healthy lifestyle so much more now. Is it easy? Absolutely not. Is it worth the day to the day battle? You're darn right it is. TOPS, as you all know, does work, and the chapter support is amazing and a necessary part of your journey. Your ongoing motivation has to come from within. Mine is my family and my health. What is your motivation going to be from this day onward? Thank you. Leanne Scriven. 3.5 years ago, my husband and I moved to Hastings from Pickering. Within 2.5 years, I had gained 45 pounds with a lack of walking and being lonely. I had met some TOPS ladies who talked about their chapter, so I thought I would join. I joined Norwood 2975 on March 12th. Although my story is a short one, it's in basic. I journaled what I ate, I cut back on carbs, and I didn't snack after supper. Oh, and yes, exercise class twice a week and went out for walks. From March 2019 to the last meeting in December, I had no gains, no turtles. Every week I lost. My total loss to goal was 41.5 pounds. I'm below goal and I'm feeling great. Thank you, Tops. I have always felt that I did not deserve an award for this, as I did not lose nearly as much weight as many others. But I am glad to share my motivation in case it helps someone. I am 5 feet tall and had been at 170 pounds years ago and lost 35 pounds with Weight Watchers, but gradually that weight had crept back on, and until I hit over 150 in December of 2018, shortly after my husband died of cancer. Finally, I went for a checkup, and it wasn't good. My blood pressure was up, my cholesterol was up, and I had faced with doubling up on 3 meds I was on for both. As I had a TIA previously, this was alarming. All of my friends, Carlene, had mentioned that she was going to TOPS meetings at a senior center, so I decided to give it a try, along with increasing my seniors' fitness classes. What a welcoming and supporting bunch of TOPS, and impressive with their dedication to sticking with it, many with physical limitations that make it much harder to lose and maintain a healthy weight. My doctor was on board and set a goal of 130 for me. I'm 72 years old. I actually thought that was a bit high. With the weekly weigh-ins and meetings full of ideas and encouragement, I started my journey concentrating on low carb, portion control, and increasing my vegetable and fresh fruit intake. All of these things we already know, I just didn't follow them. With my health as a powerful incentive, I steadily lost and hit my goal on May 4th. I actually kept losing and had to increase my consumption at one point when I dipped below 125. Since then, I've hovered between those two weights and still follow a healthy eating guideline and having occasional small treat. I love food and cooking and continue to enjoy it, just smaller, careful amounts, and continue to exercise. The bonus is that I am now completely off both my blood pressure medications and have great cholesterol readings with the low dose of medicine. I am only 2 pounds over goal and working on doing more on YouTube walks, dancercise, and Zumba to get that off. I love hiking, but with what's happening right now, these trails are closed. Keep safe. Thank you for this opportunity. Ellen Marshall. As long as I can remember, I have had a weight problem. I can recall as early as grade 2 being teased about being fat. Kids can be cruel, but so can adults. I recall being asked by adults, "Do you really need that, eat that cookie or that bag of candy?" I would think to myself, "Yes, I do." This food was the only thing that did not judge me, so I would start to sneak food into my room where I could eat in peace and quiet. These habits carried on year after year, and before I knew it, I was in high school, weighed over 300 pounds. But of course, the teasing did not stop. If anything, it got worse. So I turned to my trusty friend, food. Food liked me for me and never made fun of me. When I met my husband-to-be, I started to feel guilty about what I was doing to myself. I had a friend who had been begging me for months to come to join TOPS meeting with her, so I decided to check it out. And wow, I liked the meeting and the group so much I joined. By this time, I tipped the scales over 400 pounds. I really needed help, And on that day, October 27th, 2003, I found my new TOPS family. The pounds started falling off, and I started feeling better about myself. Then life hit me, and I lost my sister, which was the hardest thing for me to go through. Again, I turned to food and gained the weight back. Then I found out my mother-in-law became sick with the same disease that took my sister away. Yes, I turned to food more. Another 5 years go by, and my mother-in-law passes away, and all my weight is back on, plus more. By this time, you would think, okay, this is it. But no, my dad becomes very sick. By now, I'm done. I just give up on my weight. I would travel back and forth from Cambridge to Kitchener every day to care for my dad and help my mom. The day came when Dad passed away, and during this time I did not stop going to TOPS. Something still kept me going, which was good because I did not gain all my weight back. A year later, my mom had a downward turn in her health and could not help but to turn to food again. I did not want to talk to anyone. I felt that I was losing everyone I love. Finally, a few years ago, when I ended up in the hospital with my own health scare and heard those dreaded words, "It's your heart, you have an AFib," I knew life had to change. I came home, cleaned out every cupboard, and threw out all the junk food. I know that without TOPS, I would not be here today. My TOPS family has helped me in ways no one else ever could. I would like to thank all of you for helping me. Sherry Cook. I don't think my story is one of success. It's more of a story on how I'm working on achieving my success. My name is Cassandra Allen, and I'm 17 years old. I don't see myself as overweight. I see myself as a young woman who is on a weight loss journey. I was about 11 years old when I started to gain weight, and at that age, I didn't even think it was a big deal. As I got older, 14, 15, 16 years old, kids my age would make fun of my weight. I was embarrassed. I started to hate going out, and if I did go out, I would wear clothes that are bigger than my size. I wore hoodies to hide my face. Now at 17 years old, I know that it doesn't matter if I wear a size 0 or 22. I am a big, beautiful woman, and I won't let anyone tell me otherwise. A lot of this is thanks to my mom and my grandma, my family, and my TOPS family. I started this journey in September 2018, and I'm still going. Yes, I still have negative memories of being bullied, but I push those aside and make room for new and positive memories I'm making and the ones I already have. My biggest inspiration is my grandma Louise. Seeing how far she's come and the family she has, she encourages me to keep fighting and continue on this journey. I'm not perfect, but I am me, and nobody can stop me from being who I am or being the best I can be. I love myself, my flaws, and weight, and all of my imperfections. At 16, I found myself depressed and completely out of touch with my health. I had to come to years of self-doubt and binge eating. My entire childhood, I struggled with weight. As I emerged into adolescence, I was always looking for the latest and greatest fad diet. I needed a quick fix for me to look like the other girls. This was dangerous and mentally diminishing. This was simply not the answer. One day, my grandmother and my great aunt invited me to join a group called TOPS. I was scared, but I walked into the room with determination. 16 years old, and I weighed 257 pounds. I was ashamed, but as I watched the number flash before me on the scale, I knew my journey was just beginning. As the weeks passed by, I continued to drop the pounds. I was on a roll. I started loving myself again. I began eating to live, not living to eat. I started to understand through the help of my chapter what taking off pounds sensibly truly meant. By 17, I managed to remember the things that I loved about my body. The weight, while just a number, had categorized me for years. I had finally allowed it to stop defining me, and I could now enjoy my life again. There have been many times over the years where I have stopped losing weight. I have plateaued, but my chapter lifts me up in these times. They inspire me to continue on. They cheer me on when I forgot to encourage myself. TOPS has molded me into the person I am today. I have been inspired by those in my chapter each and every day to continue to love my body and the things that it is capable of. Today, just days away from my 19th birthday, I continue to shed the pounds in a sensible way. I have gained confidence and fallen in love with myself again. Abby O'Rourke. I have struggled all my life with my weight. I love food and I love to eat. I was teased and picked on all through school. The more it happened, the more I would eat, and the pounds would creep up. After having my daughter in 2003, I hit 351.5 pounds, so I knew that I needed to do something. That's when I joined TOPS. I was doing good. Weight was coming off and I was feeling good. Then in 2007, I was in a vehicle accident and I couldn't exercise or get around very well. So now the weight was creeping back and I hit over 400 pounds. I struggled to lose. In 2018, my health was getting bad. I couldn't climb stairs without losing my breath. My knees would hurt, and I was on the verge of becoming a diabetic. I then made the hardest decision of my life, weight loss surgery. With the support of my family and TOPS chapter, I started a new journey. In February 2019, I had my surgery. I was eating less and healthier. My health was improving, and I wasn't losing my breath going up and down the stairs. It's now been a year. I am down in my weight, but still have my struggles and battling my demons. I'm glad to have my TOPS family and friends to help, support, and encourage me on my new journey. Christine Allen. I started TOPS just over 20 years ago with many ups and downs in my life along with weight loss and regains. I struggled with my health, a fatty liver, diabetes, arthritis, high cholesterol, and gout, all attributed to my diet and lack thereof. About 2010, I rejoined TOPS, this time at the Oshawa 1015 chapter. I was very motivated by friendliness of the entire group and got back on track with encouragement from these wonderful women and sometimes men. I felt like I belonged somewhere and looked forward to the weekly meetings. In 2011, I was in a car accident that left me feeling up to not socializing with anyone. I quit again, gained it all back plus some more. My ups and downs. I decided on bariatric surgery and left again. I was encouraged to return. I am happy to share my journey with these wonderful people and to learn how to maintain my weight loss. I have learned so much about nutrition and health over the years with TOPS, something I wish I had learned earlier in my life. Thank you, Oshawa 1015, for your support. Brenda McGilvery.
This will be my 4th time on stage at PRD in the last 10 years, and I am grateful to have this forum to share my story. I hope by doing so it will help others to understand that weight loss is a battle we can all win, but it's a lifetime battle. I have been a yo-yo when it comes to weight loss, with a high of 450 and a low of 250. Each time I have regained the weight, it has been emotional eating. I've had lots of stress in my life. I come from a large and complex family. I have lost 5 of my 6 parents, and 3 of those deaths occurred in 5 months. That included my mom dying the day after burying my wife's stepmom. Then learning shortly after that I had lung cancer and dealing with the surgery in which I lost part of my lung. All that happened in 9 months. Earlier, I also had the trauma of being revived on the table after having a heart event, amongst other things, and that put me in a spiral. Food was, I believed, my salvation and my solution. The sweeter and saltier, the better. Recovery from my surgery was rough, and I was not active at all for over a full year. As a result, both my blood pressure and my weight skyrocketed to the point I was 420 pounds in July of 2018. My doctor scolded me, and I took off some weight and had some blood work done in November of that year. From that blood work, my doctor warned me that I was close to being pre-diabetic and said he did not want to talk to me about that again. He said every time he had given me a challenge, I had always achieved it. So I went back to my weight loss group, TOPS 4199 Elora, at the end of 2018, which gave me accountability with weigh-ins every week. By cutting all baked goods and potato chips out of my diet, I managed to take off 50 pounds. My doctor had also referred me to a bariatric clinic in Guelph General Hospital, and I started going to class there once a week. In October 2019, I began a shake program. I was able to lose just over 60 pounds while on the shakes. I went to a 1,200 calorie diet and started to get out walking with last year's TOPS division winner, Daryl Maybanks. Small steps, as it was a struggle to walk for a half an hour or so and about 5,000 steps. As of this April, I'm able to walk 15 to 20,000 steps. Since I stopped consuming the shakes and am now following a healthy lifestyle, I've taken off another 60 pounds. I've lost weight 28 weeks in a row. I am within 15 pounds of my goal weight, and I'm down 10 pant sizes. Doug Lucas, Division 1, first place with a loss of 71.8 pounds from ON 4199 Elora. My personal weight loss journey started when I had joined TOPS in 2014, as my wife was a member for 4 years. She had asked me numerous times to accompany her, but my first question was, "Are there any men?" To which her quick reply was no. So that was my first hill to climb. I decided to join to support my wife. However, it didn't take long for me to become a part of the family at 5384 Guelph. With the help and support of my TOPS family, it wasn't long before I started to see the numbers drop on the scale. I lost up to 50 pounds within 2 years. However, life got busier, and I decided to take a break from TOPS. It didn't take long before I knew this was a bad decision. My pants are getting tighter, and I got comfortable not watching what I ate or being held accountable. I knew it was time to go back, and I was welcomed with open arms. A few more years went by as I cruised along, and then I was elected as leader. That's when I figured I'd better light the fire within and lead by example. I have lost over 150 pounds and will reach my goal. I credit TOPS for my success on my weight loss journey, as well as making personal sacrifices and changing many habits, which got me to where I am today. Without the encouragement, support, and recognition I have received from my TOPS family, this would not have been possible. So thank you all. I wish everyone success like those who are being recognized today, and together we are all on the way with the best step by joining TOPS and being committed to a goal. Sharing personal stories and lessons and seeing each other succeed also adds to the success. Rely on your TOPS family through good times and bad. We are all here for you. Be accountable. Make small goals. Be good to yourself. Have faith that you can accomplish anything. Daryl Maybanks, Division 1, 2nd place, from ON 5384, Guelph. I was born on the east coast of Canada at the end of World War II. My father was a railroad engineer who provided everything we needed for a normal life. When I was 20 years old, I moved to Ontario to find employment and had no issue with weight. I quit smoking in my 20s, then was married, started a family, and then began to put on the pounds. It took a while to get heavy at first. I did not notice it as I was busy with work and family. I took a job as a salesman and joined Weight Watchers. I cannot remember how heavy I was back then. However, I went down to 170 pounds. Without a follow-up program, I soon gained the weight back and eventually topped out at 330 pounds. I have fought the battle of the bulge for many years, sometimes gaining, sometimes losing. My wife was also having trouble keeping her weight down, and she decided to go to Tops. She was enjoying the meetings and making progress. I was in my 70s, weighing 285 pounds, with arthritis, and had trouble walking. When I joined, I met Margie, and she made me feel very welcome as the new members coach. She also taught me that juicy fruit gum was a great temporary fix for a Big Mac attack. Thank you, Margie. We have a great group of people in our chapter, 2940 Belleville, and I always enjoy our meetings. Great tips on food and diet, lots of helpful presentations, and a real help to stay focused on maintaining a healthy weight program. I would not be celebrating this victory if it wasn't for my Tops friends. Tops is a great program, and I'm proud to be part of it. Thank you. Eric McDonald, Division 2, 1st place, 71 pounds. I have battled with weight, my whole life. At 72 years old, this is a chunk of time. By the time I was 17, I was already 6 foot 1 inch tall and close to 280 pounds. In my final year of high school, I could take the teasing no longer, and by exclusively eating steak and salads, I lost 100 pounds. That level lasted for about 2 years. But for the next 40 or so years, I battled the weight between a low of 210 and a high of 240. When I look back on it, I never changed my eating habits during all that time. I ate what I wanted, when I wanted. I would simply change my exercise and activities to control my weight. I retired from the Toronto Police Department in 1996 and suffered some medical issues. Those issues resulted in restrictions on my exercise regime. I suppose that could have been acceptable if I had changed my rate of food consumption accordingly, but I didn't, and my weight skyrocketed. After another 20 years of excessive food consumption and low exercise, I once again found myself at 300 pounds. Enter a good friend, last year's Ontario Tops King, John Sperino, who had obviously lost a lot of weight. In talking to him about his obvious weight loss, and he mentioned his involvement with an organization called Tops, and how it had helped him. He invited me to a meeting, and the rest, as they say, is history. It should be said that I have what could be called an addictive personality. Thanks to AA, I have been sober for 13 years with no thought to ever resume drinking. One of the most important things I learned in those meetings is that no progress will ever be made without a total and absolute change in lifestyle and outlook. You have to think differently to reach a different outcome. When I entered TOPS, I found the same prime directive. I view TOPS teachings exactly the same way. I am now conscious of what I eat, why I eat, and when I eat. People ask me, what kind of a diet am I on? And I respond that I'm not on any kind of diet. I don't deprive myself of anything. I am simply aware of what it is and how much it is. I read the labels on nutritional content and caloric content. I also monitor my food volume. I find the food substitution exercise very effective. If I had to list one principle over all others, it would be that now I eat when my body tells me I'm hungry, not my head. At the time of this writing, I've lost just short of 100 pounds. People ask me, what is my goal? And my answer is always the same. I don't have a numeric goal. I will continue with the eating habits learned in the last year and allow my weight and my body to find its normal. That's my goal. Thanks to TOPS and the entire support staff. Brian Anderson, Division 2, second place with a loss of 70.25 pounds. From ON 5403, Kirkfield. As I considered the words to put on paper regarding my weight loss journey, it did not come easy. I was a farmer, never had to worry about my weight, and yes, in the winter I would generally put on about 5 pounds, but it quickly came off once the more labor-intensive work started in the spring. After retiring from the farm, the winter weight went on, but there was no longer that labor-intensive spring, so the pounds stayed, and of course added year after year. On several occasions I justified the extra poundage by saying, my pant size is the same. I was quickly reminded the pant size may be the same, but the pants were getting lower to adjust to my ever-expanding midriff. When I hit 230 pounds, I knew it was more than time to do something. I told my wife I would join her at TOPS. Thus began my TOPS journey. There were basically only 3 things I did. 1. No eating second helpings. 2. No eating in the night, as I'm up a lot in the night. And 3, my wife no longer put her leftovers on my plate. As a result, I lost steadily. I ate the same foods as always, with the exception of cutting desserts in half and having open-faced sandwiches, thus cutting out 1 slice of bread. My grandchildren complained after I lost the weight that I looked older. I am 80. And my face was wrinkly. But now, after a few months, the skin has firmed, and that has improved. I weigh weekly and maintain within a 2-pound range, and like most people, at times I overindulge, but then I would cut back the next couple of days. Never depriving myself, though, as I believe that leads to unwanted outcomes. I thank my chapter, 5459 Moorfield, for their kindness and support through this journey. I felt I was spoiled being the only man in the group. Thanks so much, ladies. Alan Suggett, Division 3, first place, with 45.4 pounds loss. I have struggled with carrying too much weight for the active lifestyle I wish to live for quite some time. I had found it more and more difficult to keep up with my fitter friends and to do the high-energy activities that my wife enjoys. With my wife's encouragement and my friends' motivation, I had lost weight and gained it back many times, and was very hesitant to jump on that discouraging roller coaster ride again. There was a tiny advertisement in a local newspaper, followed by a cold call to the phone number, which got me moving in the right direction. Fortunately, the call connected me to Judy's welcoming voice, and eventually to Sandra, Loran, Debbie, Della, and the friendliest group of women you could ever imagine. I wish I could name them all. Even though I was the only male in the group, they welcomed me, making me feel very comfortable and encouraged me with every turn. I thrived on the many weight loss challenges and enjoyed getting together in small groups to work through issues and talk about our progress. I am proud to say I am now a COPS. I am looking forward to the challenge of not repeating my former rebounds into weight gain. My weight loss has resulted in such an improvement in my quality of life that I can't imagine returning to my former self. The big difference this time is that I have a whole TOPS community of support that will help me stay the course. Thank you, fellow Topsters. Neil Bowie, Division 3, second place, 39 pounds loss from 4957 Stainer. I joined TOPS with my wife, Helen, on February 25th, 2019. And was surprised at how seemingly effortlessly I started losing weight. In addition to the continued encouragement I receive at weekly TOPS meetings, I have the support of a large family who help keep me on track. I also take part in a weekly Sit to Be Fit exercise program, as well as warm water exercises and mall walks. My weight loss has been at a healthy, slow, and steady pace, and I hope to reach my goal by the end of 2020. Speaking of 2020, I have not changed anything regarding my usual exercise activities due to COVID-19. Thank you, TOPS. Jerry Joslin, Division 4, first place, 18.8 pounds loss from 2533 Hamilton. My journey to wellness began in November 2017. I was ready to get myself on track to feel healthier. I knew that I would have to get exercise into the equation of eating well, and after visiting my doctor, I knew that walking to wellness was going to be my choice of activity. The doctor advised that he didn't care if I didn't walk fast. The whole point was that I was out walking, one step at a time. I figured out quite quickly that my sensible eating would be around 50% of my plan, and 50% would be for increased activity. That made a winning combination for me, and it wasn't long before success came and the accountability of the TOPS scale started showing dramatic losses. That was all the encouragement I needed. What I discovered was that I liked walking, and as I felt better and stronger, the distance increased and my pedometer kept me on track. No miracles or tricks, just a commitment to get active and to balance moderation with sensible eating. I made sure that I still got to eat the foods I enjoyed, but now I paid attention to portions. When I didn't feel deprived, I was able to sustain a plan that worked well for me. Feeling stronger and healthier than I have in years is allowing me to live my best life. The loss of 85 pounds has increased my energy levels, and the feeling of well-being is welcomed payback for the positive changes that are now a mainstay of my life. Bill Drain, Division 4, second place, ON 5255, Peterborough.